This episode of Raw opened up with John Cena commenting on the return of R-Truth. He says he's nothing more than a gimmick, a comedy character that you will all turn on and spit out in a year. He says, don't use your voice and send me the class clown, use it to send me competition. Then he's interrupted by...
But I now see that I have to become a monster to stop the monster.
Punk says he isn't defending WWE for TKO for the billionaires, he's doing it for the people. They chose him in 2011 to be the voice of the voiceless. But Punk ultimately sets his sights on the WWE Championship. Punk says when he returned he had a list of things he wanted to do and the belt wasn't one of them. Because he's afraid of the man he becomes when he has it, just as we saw back in 2012. Punk continues by laying down a challenge.
If you're more Boston Red Sox than you are New York Yankee, you'll say that date is tonight, right here, right now.
Cena ultimately says, we're gonna do it, but not tonight.
You're gonna follow me to Saudi Arabia.
To which the crowd obviously boos. Punk says, you're on, and then Seth Rollins reminds them that he has the briefcase looming over them both. Part of me thinks they're gonna do a Punk wins the title only to be cashed in on and screwed by Rollins again story here. And I really hate to say it, but I wasn't feeling this segment. It felt like a lot of what Punk was saying as his motivation, not even he believes. Instead relying on the classics like the Yankees Red Sox line and then pandering to the crowd saying it's for the people. Just, I don't know, something about it didn't hit. Listen, I'm excited to see John Cena versus CM Punk again for the championship, but I don't think those crowds sadly ever really appreciate the super shows that they get. At least not nearly as much as a France, Germany, London, or elsewhere internationally. I'll just leave it here, quote, go suck a blood money covered in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork. CM Punk. Next, we see Chad Gable against AJ Styles.
Nice leapfrog by AJ.
I got you.
Drop kick catches Gable.
One of my favorite things is when wrestlers talk a little trash before hitting a move like that. This one continued with a gnarly German suplex.
Oh, nice German suplex by Gable, dropping Styles on the back of his head. Looking for the phenomenal forearm, but Gable picks him off the top rope into an ankle lock.
Styles eventually rolls through the ankle lock into a Styles clash for the win over Gable.
Meanwhile, Styles clash! And just like that.
Then, backstage, Roxanne Perez says to Liv Morgan that they could work together in this tournament for Judgment Day. Liv says, just stay out of my way.
May the best woman win. I will.
But moving on to the action, Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan for a spot in the semi-finals of Queen of the Ring. I really enjoyed this one. 4 of the best women's wrestlers, and they had a really fun match. The story of this one was Roxanne and Liv working together, effectively turning it into a handicap for Ripley at one point. And the odds were certainly not in Rhea's favor when Raquel showed up to break up a match-winning pin.
With a riptide. Raquel Rodriguez, where did she come from? Saying from the top, takes out both Rhea and Raquel.
In the end, we see Roxanne Perez steal the win and advance in the tournament.
Insane elbow by Kairi Sane. Backs up Kairi Sane. Roxanne Perez steals it.
Honestly, I can see a scenario here looking at the bracket where it comes down to either Perez and Vaquer or Cargill and Flair. Either way, that Flair versus Vaquer match is going to be unreal. And even in the quarterfinals, we're going to see Asuka and Stephanie Vaquer link up too because Asuka is back. Women's wrestling, man, you gotta love it. Next, we see Becky Lynch heading to the ring as A-Town Down Under are arguing in the background. But before all that, we see Nikki Bella. Everybody stand up, clap, hands, shout, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the Bella twins.
Let's catch up more later, okay?
Text me in 5 minutes.
Okay, for sure. Come on now.
But then, we see Io Sky meet Nikki Bella.
I just want to say I respect you so much, how you represent the women's division and also how you represent yourself.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. You paved the way for us.
Oh.
Now, I know this line already has people a little peeved. Quote, you paved the way for us, said Io Shirai, a woman who has probably never seen a Nikki Bella match, and a woman I think who was already wrestling and pretty established by the time Nikki Bella was wrapping it up. But anyway, I get the sentiment behind it, and besides, it is kind of fun to think about Io watching Total Divas. Where it's due, Becky. I loved your book. Becky says the IC title just became the greatest prize in all of wrestling because she is the owner. She says that the Bird Lady ruined her weekend by raising her hand too hard and hurting her shoulder.
But she lost it. She went crazy. She tried to kill me.
And then as Lyra is making her entrance, we finally see the return of...
Bam taking it out on Lynch.
Bailey is back, and Pan...
I'm gonna fight all these urges, my brother.
And Bailey went for the rose plant, and Becky Lynch able to escape.
Absolutely fired to see good old Pam Baisley back at it again. And it's about damn time. I'd love to see Lyra, Becky, and Bailey for the title at Evolution 2. And please, Bailey, get rid of the overdrive, I beg. Next, R-Truth appears out of nowhere to get on the announce table and cut a promo, reintroducing himself as Ron Killings.
I feel different. I feel alive. You think I'm some sideshow act? You think I'm a gimmick? Yep.
What? And you know what, Truth? I feel you. I'm sick and tired too. I've had, quite frankly, enough of this.
The truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings.
I am so hyped. What an unbelievable look at me now promo. Genuinely cannot wait to see how this all unfolds for R-Truth. And by God, I hope Ron Killings becomes world champion before the end of his retirement tour. Meanwhile, backstage in the Judgment Day clubhouse.
Yeah, I watched. It was pretty good. It's a good job.
What's everyone celebrating?
Liv, I helped you out. I stopped Kyrie from pinning you.
Is that what you did? Congrats then.
Finn then says, don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Maybe you should go talk to Liv. Yeah, I got a match, but I gotta go. Or not.
This guy Finn Balor is enjoying every second of their downfall. I actually adore it. Then during Penta's entrance, we see a Mr. Iguana promo, to which I go ahead and say, the more Mr. Iguana on WWE programming, the better. One time for the one time. Then backstage, Rollins says it is time for an all-out assault on both recognized world championships to continue their goal of absolute power. I'm starting to slowly get into this Rollins faction due to the shift they seemingly have made, where Braun and Braun are low-key getting to be more than just security guards for Seth, and I've noticed that shift in like the last couple shows.
Dominic, suicide dive, and turns it into a DDT on Penta. Oh my goodness, he may break Dominic in half. Breaker now up to the top. McAfee will call this the Frankensteiner.
But I worry when singles wrestlers get put in factions under pre-established stars, they sometimes lose their identity for the sake of the plot. But this was such a fantastic match and a fantastic showing for all men.
And Breaker with a knee. What a knee by Breaker. The Braun Breaker. Penta caught him though with a kick. Blue Thunderball by Zayn!
Eventually, LA Knight comes out of nowhere to hit a BFT on Braun Breaker, which sets up for Sammy to hit a haluva kick to pin Dominic Mysterio. And if we take a look at the King of the Ring bracket, there's a mystery spot open in the quarterfinals. I saw some people saying Ilya Dragunov, but sadly reports suggest that he won't be back until September earliest, which breaks my heart because God, I miss him. But let me know in the comments below, who do you want it to be and who do you think it will be? In all honesty, I can see this tournament coming down to Cody and Orton because what a card you could build for Night of Champions. You've got Cody, Orton, Cargill, Flair, and Cena Punk. Are you kidding? Personally, I'm rooting for Carmelo Hayes. I think it's time for him to be crowned king. But considering the winner gets a world title shot at SummerSlam, maybe Melo isn't there just yet in the company's eyes. But then if Rhodes or Orton win, are we really gonna see them face Cena again? There's a backstage segment with Zayn where he says to Karrion Kross, I am good enough to win a world championship, which I think is gonna end up with Zayn not winning, and then Kross will play more mind games by saying, told you so.
And I am going to win a world championship, and you want to know why? Because I am good enough to win the world championship!
Then we see a backstage interview with AJ Styles where he says, Gable, if you're gonna keep disrespecting AJ Styles, then I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. And he says, you know what? I'm gonna go tell him that myself. Meanwhile, there's a developing story, so Kathy Kelly rushes over. Further developments are had with the A-Town Down Under subplot as he says thank you to the New Day for being real ones. Kathy Kelly wonders when next they're gonna defend those titles, and Cody says we just defended them 2 weeks ago.
And thank God for the New Day.
Next up though, it was time to thank God for Nikki Bella. That channeled me so well, but he did. And to the woman crying, filming this moment in the crowd, you're an icon. We love you,
Lucian!
The way I slowly leaned forward as she tickled me, she teased me, It's okay. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm okay.
And let's talk about these newcomers. Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vacquet, right? Julia.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Nikki Bella's calling her Stephanie Vacquet, then we're all calling her Stephanie Vacquet. Damn it, Stephanie Vacquet, more like Stephanie Vatigue.
Nikki, if you're talking about the best women in this division, you better make sure you mention Liv Morgan.
What you're about to see may have been the greatest Liv Morgan promo of her entire career.
You're lucky I wasn't around during your career because I would have been champion and beaten you then too.
Liv says you should have mentioned me in your promo just then, but you didn't because you're jealous of me. I have everything that you don't.
I have a championship and I have a man.
Saying that while Kim Jong-C Nation is backstage laying out arena rules is crazy, but okay. Nikki claps back by saying this.
I'm just trying to figure out who he belongs to. You or Roxanne Perez? I'm confused.
Then Nikki hits a final line as Liv says this.
Can you congratulate her for me for taking your title shot and your man?
All you'll ever be is a reality show diva.
Hey Liv, quick question. This you?
Excuse me, everybody.
Well, Nikki heard enough and Liv, though, hits her in the oblivion.
And I'm even more ready for when we get the Bella Twins against Liv and Raquel at SummerSlam. Don't think Brie ain't gonna come back and send a tornado through the Judgment Day clubhouse because when she gets into Brie mode, it's over for all of them. But next, it was time for the main event, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Championship, in which my glorious Ring General wins back the title in a banger of a match.
Oh, no, not the power bomb. Stacks him up. Jey still has some life. Gunther with a spear! Gunther with a spear of his own!
The story of this one really came down to a wounded champion who just couldn't beat Gunther when he wasn't at 100%. Jey was gutsy, he kept fighting back and going for the sleeper. In the final moments of the match, he missed an Uso splash and got caught in a really long sleeper hold from Gunther. He eventually worked his way out of it after almost fading. He then tries to lock in another submission of his own, until Gunther gets him one more time, and this time, it's Usova. With all due respect, Real Graps is back. I said the whole time Jey was champion, I think the hate he gets is a little over the top. Yes, I do think the way he won the title at Mania was a bad call, but do I think Jey was a bad champion overall? No. His reign comes to an end at 51 days.